Another quick scene here with Juliet finally doing the deed and drinking the potion. So the setting is in Juliet's room. It's just Juliet and the nurse right now. They're talking about the clothes and the jewels that they picked out. Juliet says, those attires are best, but gentle nurse, I pray thee, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou knowest is cross and full of sin. So she's saying, you know what, thank you for your help. We've picked out the right clothes, we've picked out the right jewelry. Now please leave me alone. I still need to pray. I need the heaven to bless me. I have sins that I need to have forgiven, and you know that I have gone through a lot of troubled times and stress. So please just give me a second to kind of give me the night to kind of prepare myself for tomorrow. Lady Capulet enters and said, "What are you busy, ho? Need you my help?" So she's like, "Do you need my help?" And Juliet says, "No, madame," which is maybe a little bit telling because remember, the nurse is kind of like her mother. We know Lady Capulet wasn't super involved in the raising of Juliet, the upbringing of Juliet. So for the fact that Lady Capulet has missed out picking the wedding dress and the jewelry for Juliet, and even the nurse being let in on Romeo and Juliet's marriage, right? It is kind of showing how Lady Capulet isn't that involved in Juliet's life. So Juliet continues on by saying, "We have called such necessaries as are behoovel for our state tomorrow. We're ready for the wedding tomorrow, so please let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all in this so sudden business." So basically, like, let the nurse help you with whatever needs to be done. I don't need her anymore tonight. I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to pray, and I am taken care of already. Lady Capulet says, "Good night, get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need," and both Lady Capulet and the nurse leave. And now Juliet has a monologue here by herself, and she talks about some of the fears she has about this plan that Friar Lawrence has put forward. So she begins by saying, "Farewell, God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me." So she's getting a little bit cold feet right now. She's a little bit scared that something's going to go wrong. So she's going to call the nurse here, but then she's like, what should she do here? Like there's no reason to call her into her dismal scene. She needs to act alone. So the nurse, her mom, there's obviously no help they can do because they can't know of the plan. She says, "Come, vial," getting ready to drink it, and then she kind of pauses and says, "What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be more married then tomorrow morning? No, no, this shall forbid it, lie thou there." So her first hesitation is that the potion or the vial won't work, that she'll wake up tomorrow morning and she'll still have to get married. And she says, "You know what, that's not going to happen no matter what, because I'm going to kill myself if that happens." So she lays down a knife beside her in case she does wake up tomorrow morning and she has to go through with this wedding. So Juliet is still determined not to get married, and she's determined that death will be the end of her if this plan doesn't work. Then her second fear is, what if it be a poison which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo. So now she's worried that perhaps Friar Lawrence actually concocted a poison to kill her because he knows the secret of Romeo and Juliet being married. There might be dishonor on him. He might be stripped of his priesthood. He might get in a lot of trouble. Who knows, right? So now she's worried that maybe Friar Lawrence has done something to this potion, to this poison. And then she says, "You know what? Methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man." So now she's like, okay, no, he's a good guy, he's holy, he wouldn't do something even if it means the other result is him getting in trouble. And then she says, "How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me?" Now she's saying, what if I wake up and I'm in the tomb and Romeo hasn't come and got me and I have to sit in this tomb alone? There's a fearful point. Shall I not be then stifled in the vault? So maybe there's no air to breathe. Maybe I suffocate. I'm frightened to be in this tomb alone if I wake up. She says, "If I live, it is not very like the horrible conceit of death in night, together with the terror of the place, as in a vault and ancient receptacle." So she's saying, you know what, okay, obviously I'm not going to suffocate because I'm going to be in there anyway and still technically be alive, but What if I have to stay there? What if I wake up a bit early and I have to stay in there a couple days and I'm all alone in the darkness? I'm there with the rotting bodies and the skeletons. That would be kind of scary, right? So she says, where for these many 100 years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed. And then she says, bloody Tybalt, but greener than the earth. So he just got buried. He's rotting in the ground beside me. Like, that would be kind of scary, right? Maybe there are some ghosts residing, right? The smells would be terrible in a grave. So there are a lot of things that could make her go crazy if she wakes up too early. And as she says, oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears and madly play with my forefathers' joints? So maybe she's gonna go crazy. She again, right? Like, she's got all these things. Maybe this will do a lot more damage to her mental state than anything else. Maybe she will be rolling around with Tybalt, she says again, and in this rage with some great kinsman bones, as with a club dash out my desperate brains. So she's saying, maybe I'll go crazy in here and kill myself with some sort of bone or joint or whatever I can find in there. And then she says, methinks I see my cousin's ghost. Uh-oh, I see Tybalt's ghost, seeking out Romeo that did spit his body. She's afraid that the vengeful ghost of Tybalt is going to come after Romeo. And then she's like, no, no, wait, stay, Tybalt, stay. I'm going to drink this, okay? I will come calm your ghost, your soul for a bit. She says, Romeo, 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 here's drink. I drink to thee. So she gives a little cheer, a little speech, and she drinks down the vial and falls down onto her bed.